Because you have them sick niggas that would really just like be wrong gals just to have sex with them, and the minute they get that, it's like, oh, I gotta go.
Oh, like when we get in that relationship and I find out certain things, like it would have been better that I would have known beforehand, you know? So I think that's
Be honest.
just be completely honest with me, you know. Welcome to the Parent Share podcast.
We're four friends
Two couples.
with endless laughs.
So let's dive right in. Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Guys,
Oh, pretty good.
y'all always have like this poker face. Like I don't know what it is with y'all.
I so chill right now. I just mellowed out right now. You know, before she get in the segment, you know. So let me tell y'all what. Mic up. I drinking some Bud Light right now. You know, I feeling a little good. You know, feeling like a man. You know.
As I said, say before I get it. That's the segment. It's okay, man.
Yeah. So what y'all got, man? What's going on?
I have Gatorade Zero.
Yeah.
I have Gatorade Zero
What color?
green
Just line.
lime. Okay.
I'm drinking, what is this? Sparkling water? Sparkling water.
Kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi.
Red? I don't know, but I know it's kiwi.
That's just me.
Yeah.
To be safe.
Well, I have the Kirkland brand water again.
Sinead, I have just a quick question for you before we get into it. When are we switching it up?
I don't know.
Like, you know, it's been water for a few times. I just want to know, like, when are you going to surprise us? Like, when?
I don't know. I just drinking water. Like, if y'all had, like, something else, it'd be like, oh, well, not something else, but, like, if I just, yeah, it's, like, plenty of options, but it's, like, if I just felt like doing it, I'd be like, yeah, cool. But it's, like, I was eating the chips, and I was just, like, I probably shouldn't
But you know,
eat something sweet with this.
we got 7-Up, and I must see had like 3.
No, yeah, like,
He drew.
because y'all saw the Idle Thoughts with Shabit. I mentioned 7-Up, and then we just happened to go to Walmart.
So what, you like soda?
No, I was just saying, like, I haven't had it in a while, and then
I got my Capri Sun too. He drank so much of that.
Well, we were having that conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all was actually gonna get it though.
That's the thing, like, we just saw it.
$2.
So then,
That's it? Boy.
so it's like, she
How
had the
long
box,
children
and
gonna
I
be
was like,
fun?
oh, wow. And then we was leaving, and I was like, what are the odds? Like, there's 7-Up right here, but it was like 7-Up Zero. And I was like,
I mean, you should have get it if it's zero.
no. It was 7-Up Zero, and I was like, we don't want that. And I took like 2 steps, and I was like, oh, there's a regular one. She was like, get it? And I was like, okay. And then I used like a couple of them to make drinks and stuff for y'all. But like the rest of them, it was just like, I just cracked open a 7-Up. Like, it was like nostalgic drinking it.
I would probably get the 7-Up Zero, you know. You gotta watch that sugar intake, you know. You know,
Like, the stuff that says 0 sugar is probably like a bunch
Just use the alternate.
it has artificial sweetness inside it, so it's gonna taste sweet. But if you would, even with the sparkling ice, it has zero sugar in it. If you pour it on your hand, you rub your hand together, it's not gonna stick because it has no sugar in it.
That is your measurement for healthy.
That's how you know. Like that's just how you know it doesn't have sugar in it.
Welcome to the world with it.
That's what I say.
that's
I thought he was gonna be like, yeah, but like if you look at the portion amount, it would be different. He was like, no, your hands don't get.
You see who's do the lemonade? What they name Simply Lemonade or something like that. They actually got sued because they had some of those saying 0, and that's how you test if it has sugar in it. You
It had some.
rub it on your hand.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so they got sued for mislabeling it.
Wait, let's go to it, bro. They know what you.
burning Cheetos. Somebody took a blowtorch to Oreos too, and the Oreos.
Oh, I saw that.
My question with that is, how would you know?
What you mean? How would you know?
Oreos are black.
They would disintegrate. It's a blowtorch.
Yeah, it should melt through it though.
Burn,
It would
but
disintegrate.
disintegrate. If you burn bread,
Blowtorch.
think of like a bread or cookie. If you burn a cookie, you just keep getting blacker.
It's gonna disappear. It's a blowtorch.
But you said bread just now. That bread's gonna set on fire though.
Yeah, but it's a cookie. A cookie's a little more dense.
No.
Scientists,
No.
matter though, just
No, I thinking of what you saying now because like with the bread.
Like ash. It's gonna turn to ash.
I don't know. Burn a cookie, you just get hot on hot.
No, you're thinking of burning a cookie in the oven. That's not direct fire. I'm talking blowtorch is direct fire.
Listen,
Yeah, I think it's gonna go a hole through a normal cookie though. We could probably test it
That's
out.
what we said. Let's do like a batch, like one cookie, and let's see.
Yeah, we probably gonna, you guys can reference this video for when we actually try that experiment. Pay and share.
I don't. Yeah, like
Check that out.
Blowtorch.
you could go to Walmart and buy a blowtorch. What?
You're fine a blowtorch.
They have blowtorches you can use in the kitchen, the tiny ones.
Yeah, just do the tiny one for real. Because
I
if
saw
it burn through with the tiny one, you know for sure it burning through with the serious
Because
one.
I saw the.
But then what if it doesn't burn? Are we gonna use that as a justification? Like, hey,
Real, like, oh, the fire. No, knowing that would be like, well, the fire ain't strong enough.
yeah, you know, like what is gonna be the
I saw it and I was like, one, Oreo's a black cookie, and like, two, it's like, ain't nothing gonna happen to it. Like, it's like the filling and stuff changed, but like,
Well, even so, like, okay, taking away your point, the white at least should do something.
If you could put a blowtorch on your car and it start to melt away, friggin' the car, the Oreo should
it's like
start
cream
to
filling.
melt.
If I take fire to heavy cream, it'll catch on fire. So, what's everyone doing this week? Like, any plans for the upcoming week?
School starts for me on Monday.
God, mine's is next week, Monday, but I'm not looking forward.
I'm not, and this is crazy. I'm taking way more credits this semester, so it's like, I don't
Does the
know.
max they allow you to take?
I can only take 50 in max. Grad students supposed to take at least
So you could take 5. Wait, is it 3 credit hours per course?
most mines are 3, 4,
So like full or like taking 5?
5 classes. Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
So I think I have like a 2 credit class in there to make it that 14. But yeah, for a graduate student, max you could take is 15, which is normal because you take way less credits. Like all my other semesters, I was doing 10, 9. Because once you over 6, I think you're good. Full time, you need to have at least 9. And then, yeah,
That is crazy.
I don't know.
The max is 12. 15 is
No, 12 is undergrad, isn't it?
Friday.
No.
no, that's I think that's
12 was the
12 was the minimum for.
Yeah, and then
for
15.
I think 18 was the max.
Yeah,
18 or 19.
for a full-time grad student, minimum I think you could take is either 9 or 6 to be considered full-time.
Tax wise, 6.
Yeah, that's the minimum, and then the max is 10. But yeah, so I am not looking forward to this semester. A lot going on, but
What if you just pushed it back a semester, like graduating some?
Oh, no, sir.
no
We need-
scholarship dollars. I have it set for me to graduate this year. After that, I really don't want to say
Damn.
yeah. So, child, I looked at my the statement the other day on how much like the school costs. I was saying, thank God I didn't have to pay for this. Like,
It is so expensive.
I'm like, whoa. And like thinking of the courses I'm doing, not saying that I'm not learning great information because I am. I'm just like, oh, this
I've got
cost
stuff
this
on
much?
ChatGPT.
I'm like, wow, because like I looked and it's basically like by the end of this semester, my
You can take
degree,
any assignment. Well, let me not say that.
my whole course is like 100. My whole degree is like 100,000 something. I'm just like, for 2 years,
Yeah, because
what
I
are we
think
doing?
USC, and that's when I was looking at the accounting program. It's like 50 grand a year.
Yeah, like minimum. And I'm just like 100,000 something dollars for this 2 years degree. Love the degree, but I'm just like,
No, my thing is, I'm not even staying on campus.
because I can't.
Yeah, imagine if you were paying.
when I get-
for a house.
I was saying the things. That's why I'm just like,
I mean-
well, they might be cheaper because like you will be doing an undergrad, but that was for undergrad.
No, the Mac program.
It's not gonna be cheaper. It's gonna be like in the same price range.
Because thing like undergrad, you take how much credits?
Minimum 12,
No, like total credits,
90,
120.
120.
120. Yeah.
Yeah.
My grad degree is only 30 credits.
Yeah, I think mine's is like, I don't want to say 60, but it is more than 30 because we just did the count the other day. But yeah, it's just like,
Yeah, mine is only 30 credit hours.
yeah.
Okay. So let's get into some dating dudes. What do y'all feel like are dating dudes? That things you should do, like you have to do while dating. You know, what's recommend?
I feel like we need to define dating.
That was my question.
Let's define dating. Hold on. Let me
Yeah,
This
because
generation have this talking thing, and
what dating technically is, I've never experienced actual dating.
Yeah,
I've been in a
like-
relationship.
Okay, what is dating? I'm asking ChatGPT now.
You date before you go in a relationship. You don't go in a relationship and then date.
Yeah, that's what it sounds.
That's not how it works.
I think once you
So this is the definition from ChatGPT 4.0. Dating is a social activity where two people spend, because they're giving me the best answer possible. I think this is the max. No wait.
Cool.
Anyways, dating is a social activity where two people spend time together to explore a potential romantic relationship. It typically
Explore
involves
potential.
getting to know each other, sharing experiences, and evaluating compatibility in terms of interest, values, and long-term goals. Dating can vary greatly depending on cultural norms, personal preferences, and intentions, such as casual dating, serious dating, or dating with the goal of marriage or a committed partnership. So what you were saying is correct. Like, that's the real...
Yeah, that's what I saying. Like, you can't go in a relationship and then like
I wonder
think
how
that
that
it's gonna
feels.
be the same as
'Cause, like-
dating. Because I've never experienced dating.
Like you get into that relationship and then you do that then, eh?
And then
That's what it feels like.
That's why people say you're supposed to keep dating, like even if y'all together or even if y'all.
yeah, but that's different because you're already in a romantic relationship. That's just like
But I feel like
flirting. Like it's very hard to flirt with your partner because flirting is like a mind thing, and it's like you trying to get them to be like, yeah, like.
I see you flirt with Misha every day.
I think you was assume that's flirting. I don't be flirting.
I feel like you thinking of flirt as only one.
Yeah. I've already explained this to
Walking
him.
up, touching her.
Wait, so
like
what
you like insinuating sex with her, anything like that. All of that is flirt.
Babs, didn't I? What do you think it is? Because you saying
I feel like you.
were just like talking or like saying like
No.
Yeah, I feel like you have to get
Yeah.
people's mind
the
ready.
issue.
I don't feel like you could flirt with
Wrong.
somebody you
Because when
already
he said
had
that to me-
intercourse with.
no. When he said that to me, I was like, "Devotion, you do it all the time." He's like, "That ain't flirting." No, I'm like, "Yes, it is."
Telling her she pretty is flirt.
Yeah, like
I thought it was just like saying like slick stuff.
Yeah, that's what I feel like you know what I would do to you? Like if I get my hands on you.
Really, like yeah, like
Stuff like
saying
that.
Stuff
Like,
like
no,
that.
if I don't see you in a while, cool. I seeing you every day.
Stuff that would get you like ramped
but
up. Saying
that
Yeah.
is also a part of it. But like, that's not the
all
only.
the time.
Isn't that just foreplay? So what's the difference between-
you just nuzzle and meet your air like all up in her neck like what we
I
talking
said this to
about?
Yeah, but like, what if that's the case? What's the difference between flirting and foreplay then?
Hold on, wait.
Mm.
Hold on, wait.
It's just like foreplay could
You know-
be anything.
Sometimes I just talk and then wisdom to just
What are you
fall out.
talking
I-
What are you talking
Let me stop
about?
gassing.
Let me see.
Stop.
Stop.
Trying to define.
Flirting is a
Really, get shit out on ChatGPT.
Because it sounds like that's just foreplay.
foreplay. Like what are we talking about?
It is because like that's another thing, man.
I mean, you on
Hold on,
ChatGPT?
wait. Let me
That's the
finish.
problem too, where it's like a lot of men think like
It's
foreplay and
this.
sex is just touching stuff. Like
No.
you gotta talk, you gotta get them in the mood. It's so much.
You know what's so crazy? I told the guy too much.
Like, yeah,
What you're saying now sounds like what y'all just said about flirting.
that's why literally anything could be flirting. That's what we're saying.
That's what we're saying. Like,
anything could be
because y'all
flirting.
thinking it's
Foreplay is more than
My thing is,
touching.
it's harder to flirt with somebody you already think of. And it's not impossible.
y'all thinking of it too.
I think.
You was doing
So,
so
listen. The way I could flirt with you, if me and you would never do nothing, and make you feel, and you feel this butterflies and thing. After me and you already cut when we cut. After we done cut when we cut, I can't say the same day as you, and you be like,
Oh, because it could be the same. I see what you
That's
mean.
not true.
like I gotta switch it up and be like, yeah.
You said all of that, and now it's like after the fact, it's like you say that again. Now she reminiscent. She thinking about
That's
it.
what I
and she
said.
trying to do
Y'all
it again.
ain't hearing,
Like,
y'all hearing us, but y'all ain't hearing us.
We
It's
telling y'all
we
how
telling y'all
our
what it
life
is.
Y'all are not listening.
It's crazy. It's like a full circle moment because like Cheyenne has been in air.
I feel like y'all not hearing yourself.
We are. I'm just glad she validated it. So
Let's agree to disagree on that.
So that was the definition of dating. Basically, that is you getting into, you discussing with someone to potentially explore. But my thing is, in today's world, have y'all dated that way yet? Because we're going to talk about. Okay, so you have like talked to someone to
Before getting in a
before
relationship.
getting a relationship.
I think that's what we call talking.
Yeah, that's
Back at home, that's what we call talking.
Okay, so are we going to talk about talking? or-
But you don't really go on dates though.
Our adult life was really hell, and y'all was already together. We wasn't going on
That's really nice.
Facebook like that. You might have gone to the movies, but that was after y'all was already.
What was,
Yeah, that's what I
what
saying.
was the question?
No.
It was just like, what do you think I do is for like dating?
So are we going to talk about our dating as in going? Or are we talking about talking?
I mean, we could talk about both.
Okay, so let's do do's and don'ts about talking / the original definition of dating.
Kevin.
Okay, so what should do?
But you could start.
Okay, so dating, what is dating is what I consider talking. So doing the talking phase, that's when you gotta be sweet, say all the right words to them, make them feel special, make them feel good, tell them how beautiful they is. You gotta let them feel nice, get them settled. You always trying to be on their good side when you in that talking phase. It ain't gotta be much of that argument and this and that disagreement. You just let them win. Because even when you get deeper into the relationship and marriage and all that stuff, you still have to let them win. But when you get into that real relationship, that's when the arguments start, because you could be like, this girl really ain't making no sense. But we gonna continue with you make them feel good or whatever, and then then you all
So that's
slowly
your-
get into that
So that's
relationship
your
point.
Well, you gave up.
Yeah, that's just like that transition.
So what are your do's?
Okay. Okay. So my do's and don'ts are do's.
Just do's for
Up to you.
Do I just feel as though I don't know. I hate when you talk before me because like I feel like I think
Oh, I was like,
no. 'Cause, like, I feel like some stuff you would say. It's some stuff that you would say that like it is getting my mind, and I feel like I kind of agree with that, So I guess
Say it again. If you
yeah, true. I'm not copying it.
That's cool.
So a do for me, I do think like that should be like a very good cupcake stage. If we talking like I try don't hold nothing back as it relates to telling me stuff. I trying to get to know you. So I know if like I want to be in a relationship with this person, like I would know your ex, your ex, ex, your ex, 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 everything. Like don't keep nothing away from me, because when we get in that relationship and I find out certain things, like it would have been better that I would have known beforehand. So I think that's
be honest.
just be completely honest with me. We talking ain't no commitment right now. We seeing if we can go somewhere. So that's a do for me. Being completely honest.
Yeah. I mean, for me, just like the same too, it's like be yourself. Like, don't be trying to lie and say, oh, use this and use that. Because when the time comes and you ain't,
They don't do that, boy.
because like,
I make all this money.
yeah, don't act like you got money in there when it's time to show the money.
Or in the talking stage, you spamming that money. Anything y'all want. So she get in a relationship, man, baby. Like,
Tires, talk.
Times, just
When I'm at the talking stage,
Don't do that.
you have to put down a deposit, but then you start making your monthly payments.
no, bro, that is manipulation, me. Oh my gosh.
So it's not like
I've never heard it described. That is funny.
saying exactly what you want. Like, if you trying to talk to somebody just for sex, then say that. Don't come around people when they say they want relationship or they want marriage, and you want your marriage but one thing.
Yeah.
All of that.
Be honest.
Somewhere else, but don't waste mine. That's all we saying. Respect people's boundaries, because if people don't want certain things, don't try to force stuff on people, and don't try to be like, oh, if I stick around for just a little bit of time, they can do it. Because you have them sick niggas that would really just like be around gals just to have sex with them, and the minute they get that, it's like, oh, I gotta go.
Oh,
Like
that's best friends, isn't it? What, Rob? Because I didn't say this. I think just disagree.
I don't agree with you.
It'd be like, oh, that's just my best friend, and then it'd be like,
I feel like it is be like that for
it's
some
niggas like
people,
that.
but
You're thinking of
it's niggas like that.
else, and I'm saying something.
yeah, you are talking about something else though. That's
You kind of throw her.
that's like best friends. They acknowledge each other as best friends, and they
Yeah,
doing
like
sick
that-
vibes.
I'm talking about someone trying to date for marriage and say, oh, they trying to be celibate or wait for a certain amount of time, and you literally only trying to
Crap this.
walk down just to have sex and then dip.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when it comes to people like that, you should be able to notice that. But I feel as though women is be like blinded by the, oh, he's saying this to me, man. Can we feel this way? But I say that's what you have to do. You have to make them feel comfortable and stuff like that. But then like based on how this guy is, and like I feel like when it comes to like other people's perspective on the person, they just don't listen to that. And they just be like, oh, he probably changed now. He doing this, he doing that.
Because that could be
I'm
right.
thinking about change or whatever, but I talking specifically where it's like you see them as a good person, they showed you nothing else. Nobody bad mouthing them. You tell them what you want. They say they understand your intentions, and they doing something. You like, oh, you know what? Well, you might compromise your values just a little bit for them because you just feel like you're so in love and feel like your relationship goes.
I feel as though,
And then as soon as they get it, it's like, okay,
honestly, I feel as though that's a perfect example of like the church stories about like people who date in church, because like they get with the church boy because they assume that they would want to date till marriage, and then they get with the church boys, and then like the church boys cause this girl who was sticking to her celibacy waiting till marriage, and then like they end up having sex with them, and it's just like that happens a lot. and then they just break up with them and then go to the next person.
Oh, I feel like because the point I was gonna say was like if you like go like shopping in like the junkyard, you can find trash. But then like I think people might see that as like, oh, like church is a safe place, but like I feel like that applies more to like people like if you was like a crappy person in church, you ain't gonna be like a better husband just because you're in church. So it's like
But that's the thing. In this talking stage, people are on their best behavior.
My thing is, Apple is of defective units. All type of companies of defective units. Just because there's a quality brand and a good brand
yeah,
doesn't mean that, it ain't gonna be some, bad apples.
yeah. I would say like because like you make it a point, it's like people on their best behavior, but I still feel like you can see certain things like based how like people interact with other people. So it's like
Yeah.
let's say y'all go to a restaurant, like he doing all this good stuff, but then it's like the waiter come and he's like super rude. So it's like they might be on their best behavior with you because they try to impress you. But like other people like they're dealing with in your presence, they might not be like conscious enough to like kind of like lay it on that thick. So it's like you can see to like a certain degree because it's like also in talking like people like after a while it's like become relatively honest, especially if like you're drinking and stuff. So it's like you talking about values and it's like, yeah, man, I just in this for the money for real. Like, I have like this thing. I just had to get married so I can retire and just to live comfortably off one man. And it's still like you hearing that is just like red flag. Red flag.
Well, I feel like that's a topic that could. Yeah.
I feel like the only way for you to hear something like that is like they have to be interacting with their friends. I feel as though
Yeah.
seeing how they interact with their friends is a very important aspect of dating because you ain't really know this person. Their friends know them better than you. So it's best to see how they interact with their friends and like some stuff that they'll be like hush hush about if like their friend slip up and mention something, and then they'd be like, no.
Well, Jameer, what's your do then?
Might do. I think it's like be honest and upfront, but like when people have this automatically think like with the other person, be honest with yourself. Like if you know like you're because like people are like, oh, I try and be celibate. It's like, well, like a lot of times that break and then people break, like blame the other person for like forcing the person. It's like, well, you may have not been fully committed to that. You may have known that going in. So it's like, be honest with yourself about what you're looking for. Because then it's like, you don't want to be like, oh, I just can't find good men. Oh, really and truly, you may not be looking for good men. That might be the case where it's like, oh, all these girls is this and that. Well, you looking for girls in that area that are this and that. So it's like, you be honest with people, but at the same time, like be honest with yourself.
True. Okay, fair enough. So now we're doing don'ts, right?
Yeah.
What's your don't for you?
Don't. Ugh. I just feel as though, don't expect anything from anyone in that type of phase, Don't expect them to, really live up to the feelings that they told you and expressed to you because, everybody's be lying and a lot of times they just be going off that, what's it called? Can't remember what it called, but I'm so chill right now. So we're just gonna continue to move forward with that. But yeah, don't believe everything everybody say. Look for the truth yourself. That's all I could say.
For me, don't. Well, I gotta speak in terms of when I was talking to people. Like from you coming on to me like very sexually, that's a don't for me. Because like, why are you coming on to me like that right away? For some girls, it might be a do. Like they might like that and they might be attracted to that. But as relates to me, like you scaring me. Because now like, what you into for real? Like what is going on? Like I thought we trying to get to know each other, but not like that yet. Like let's get to know.
Freak you off, ripping.
As I said, like let me.
They trying to invite you to the party.
No, but like she already dated nobody in her adult.
Yeah, so even now,
That's what I'm gonna say. Even now, someone. Just,
even now, yeah, like
No, it's not completely weird because you have people where it's like as soon as they see each other, start talking to each other, it's like immediate.
it's giving love is blind.
I just see stuff like that, and I'm like, who raised y'all? Like niggas walk up and be like, oh, they say about Virgos wet this and that. It's like, sir,
No,
sure, I'm a.
I think when they say stuff like that, I feel like they just get a vibe though.
But it's
I find that to be creepy.
like, when it's like the girl like obviously attracted to the guy obviously attracted to her. it can pass their mind. So if it like come up, it's like okay, they both on the same wavelength, so they know.
That's how a lot of one night stands happens. I think.
Exactly.
It's all about this.
I,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. So yeah, that's a don't for me.
Yeah, that one just come with age. But I could see what you mean. Like if you try to date somebody like to date and like actually make something happen, of course don't immediately talk to text. Because are you pretty?
Yeah, we're scared.
Yeah, ease it into that, guys. Don't just jump it off with that. I mean, you guys have sense. You know what is a dirty bungie from a clean bungie, so you know what to cut that type of action on. So my salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll do what y'all gotta do.
So dolls with me, I feel like oversharing, like in the beginning, don't cut that. If that ain't your mind or like you won't feel like you going somewhere with them, this is not the time to tell them.
I feel like you.
I love that. I love that one.
No, I feel like she meaning like a specific. What you mean? I like when you said I thinking of a question right now.
Talking about like y'all on the first date and you telling them everything they need to know.
Your daddy abandoned you. You live homeless.
Consider again to know someone.
No.
I feel as though it's levels and stuff like they can know the basic stuff, but not too much about your past and stuff.
What do you do for work? Like what brings you to this city? Like what do you enjoy doing for fun?
I did not was on a job interview.
People's childhood and like where their trauma come from.
I feel like that's one of the first things. So like, where'd you?
Okay,
I feel like you gotta get deeper to
Is
talk with themselves.
different from I used to get abused.
I'll be like, where'd you grow up? Well, I grew up in Mississippi, but I kind of had to move away.
Well, in that case, I feel like you read it wrong.
That comes. I feel like that comes up organically.
I feel like if you read the room though, like
you think when you really think about people that have been in those situations, like all abuse is bad. Obviously, when people have been in those situations, that's not unless they're like super comfortable and it's like they can talk about it with anybody. That's not something that just organically comes up in conversation. That's a hard thing to think about. So if it's like, oh, you move away for this reason, I grew up here, moved up here, just wanted to try something new. They're not gonna be like, I had an abusive mom, that's why I left the state.
But I also feel like it depends on like how you read the room. Because like if I ask you a question and you get deep, then it's kind of like I'll get deep too. But all depends.
Yeah, I get what you're saying with that.
Like it all depends. Like I'll get deep.
Especially on first date, that's not something.
Yeah.
First date topics. No, don't.
Because I think in the first dates too. I'm thinking the same way she is. But like if you're like, because I don't know how long dating is go for. I don't know how long there's be dating. I don't know how long the time period is for that. But talking is like a month, 2 months, maybe.
Day one, like I could see if you're like a couple weeks in or whatever, you really feel like you could talk to them about stuff like that. Certain things that you just
No? Okay, so that's your don't. Cherie, what's yours?
I feel like this like applicable to like not just romantic relationship, but my friend gave me like really good advice one time when I was complaining about something. And it was like, well, that's what you would do. It was like, don't expect people to be you, where it's like you would react in a certain way.
That is true.
It's like you can't expect them to react a certain way. Like you may have trust issues, I like maybe paranoid, or you may have like malicious intent in certain areas. Other people won't do that.
Yeah.
Why does it sound like the conversation we just had with yours?
Good.
I probably will.
Like November.
I think no. I have a good example. So like for instance, right? Say you was a person.
Talk to him.
Oh, true. But I have a perfect example though. Like say you let's go trauma wise. So like say you have a parent or a family member that you're really close to, and like anytime you did this specific thing, they would say this certain thing. So you get into this relationship with someone and like you so used to that, like that comes up again and like they don't say that thing that the person would say, and you're just like, like why aren't they saying it? Like you would say that, you would respond that way because you've been responding that way to this person. This is someone else. So like why you shouldn't expect something that you would do. Don't think like it's common knowledge for everyone to like do this.
Yeah, even with like how people grow up and
that's in certain scenarios, because you do have like general like decency where it's just like, you take a shit, you flush. So certain things are just like obvious, like to do.
I mean, some people they didn't grow up with toilets.
That is true. Yeah, we could be specific. That is stuff.
But it's like when certain things happen, don't like rush to assume like because like people aren't used to it. That's like the best way I see out of that is to like ask questions. Where it's like if like let's say the person didn't say the thing, it's like, well, what happened? Like, you know, like, and then the person would be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Then it'd be like, oh, then like a discussion happened. But it's just like, don't always assume like people's intent is the same as yours. Is what the general gist.
That's a good don't. Fair don't. Fair don't.
Like, don't ignore red flags. Like, if you see it, run. Like, don't wait for the 5 and the 10 of them.
I don't feel like that's a date. I feel like
in the beginning, run.
I think that's just part of being an adult. Like certain things, like I feel like social media is glorified, where it's like, oh, I ignore red flags. That's not cool. You're just not an adult. Make mature and informed decisions.
What you talking
Where it's like, oh, you see her like, oh, I see him kill this dog, hit it with his car, and just drive away. It's like that person might be a violent person. Or it's like, oh, I see the way he just slapped his sister. Who do you think next? It's you, girl. Like be an adult.
You see the way he slapped his sister.
How do you so Cheyenne?
You ever see a thing where it's like where like a guy has like a sister, like yeah, his sister's like wrestling stuff, and it's like his sister will do something, piss him off, and he's just like flicker or hit her. It's like, what do you think he'll do to you when y'all have a disagreement? Because like I grew up with like a stepsister, and it's like I never think to hit my stepsister. Like that just wouldn't be acceptable. Like I may hit my little brother, I still get in trouble, but it's just like certain things are accepted, and like if you see the obvious signs, ain't no red flags, green flags. Like
Yeah, 'cause you might get beaten for hitting your little brother, but you might get half killed for hitting your.
cut ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like just make informed decisions. Like don't be like trendy, like oh red flag, green flag. No, like that's dangerous. Like be an adult. Like,
What's the middle one? What do they call it? Amber? Oh,
beige?
yellow? They don't say yellow. They
Beige?
use a different name.
Green, yellow, red. It's a stoplight.
No, it's red flag, green flag, and beige.
Yeah, they say they say beige. That's what they say.
I mean, I've never heard a middle thing at all.
Beige mom because of the foreign like ladies that want everything and they always to be brown.
Want bet?
No colors for their kids.
Want to bet?
Well, we say about that.
Who we betting for? I'm telling you what I see on the internet. You're talking about what you see on the internet. I'm saying I never seen anything about beige on the
Because I on Will Smith internet too. Want to bet? Want to bet?
So to
That's all I
me,
say.
that's your don't, and Cheyenne don't. That's valid. Don't ignore the red flags. And Javine, your whole point is like some stuff, but your examples might win to the top.
Yeah, some stuff are very obvious. Like, of course, if that person kills things,
Yeah,
Well,
we talking about the things that could be easily hidden.
not like when she said kill thing. I mean, like if the person obviously isn't a hunter, where it's just like they're just killing
The
animals for
norm,
fun.
yeah.
Like, if it's outside any like normal like societal norms, walk away like
Oh.
expeditiously.
Okay, so that's our do's and don'ts.
again, no. All right. So, what is like a good first date idea? Y'all feel?
Probably dinner. I feel like the movies, it's getting a little PG-13. Some real sick people that be going on movie dates. So, yeah.
You see the people who go out there Moana.
What?
My thing is with movie dates, you're not able. That's not a good first date because
You can't really.
you can't talk, and it's like you just sit next to a stranger basically, like the whole movie.
Even if it's like a Applebee's or something, like go for food where you can talk, sit and chat,
talk,
get a couple of drinks. Even a bar is nice. I know a lot of people have their first drinks. I mean, first dates at bars.
I'd do like an activity before the like. I feel like dinner is like a staple, or like getting some kind of food. But like, I feel like doing an activity is kind of like takeaway.
Give us a
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like bowling. Like if y'all go bowling or something, it's like you don't just have to like sit there, like kind of like
I mean, bowling alleys got bars now, so
yeah,
the
so it's
bowl
like,
then
you
sit
can
down.
bowl then
talk.
like get some of the food. So it's like it's not as forced because it's like you're still moving around, so you're not just sitting there with a stranger like just talking randomly. Plus, it's public, so they can't kidnap you.
yeah. That's what I said. Make sure public. So that's
Always a public place. Always involve food. Some people, you can get into that. But
Yeah.
always try to involve food because, like, just that gives people something to relax, like something to enjoy. And, like, if you want to get a drink. But I feel like as long as it's public, food is involved, like, it's good. You don't always have to be an activity because, some people might get a little winded. They can't.
Some people I've watched.
I feel like that's the perfect place to break it off.
I've watched.
Shippers.
I don't know. I've watched a show somewhere somehow where they mentioned like the guy wanted to take me on the first date to do something like that's pretty weird. Like they felt kind of off about going on activity, and I can understand because like if you're trying to take me kayaking on the first date, it's like I need to be comfortable with you. I need to be comfortable with you before I hop in this little banana boat.
Especially to a stranger.
Well, y'all have to get in the same boat. Y'all could just get individual.
Even so,
Kayaking in the
even so, like we could be in separate one and just still weird because like if something happened, like I didn't even know you, like.
Hey.
You coming over here looking for me?
Same thing with dinner. You can be like, oh, I'm going to Rio's, and then you just never come back from Rio's.
That's not my point. My whole point is like something happened to me, like not you do something like you on the water, like anything could happen. It's just like, why am I here in this water with this person? Like
I mean, it doesn't have to be water. It can be bowling.
I don't know. I still don't feel like bowling is a good idea for a first date unless it's like a quiet bowling alley, which is rare.
I was gonna say,
Man,
Because you competing with the music, you competing with the balls and everything. So it's just like, I don't know.
I don't feel like Bolero be
so
loud, does it?
out.
It is
Like
love.
a conversation with like somebody you just meet, like the first, or even if like, because some people going on first dates, they might have been talking for a while before the first date, or this might have been the first time.
Yeah, some type of
So,
interaction.
like, you want something where you can actually have a conversation.
Even grabbing a coffee or going for a walk.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, going for a walk.
Yeah, that's going on.
Even go on a hike.
Oh no, no, Javine. Who you taking on a hike?
Just
Fellas, marry an active woman. Just, but they said who's so concerned about weight. Do no kind of activity. Suppose I put
This a date.
suppose I time and like, okay, 100-yard dash.
But you stop.
This ain't it.
That's not why we said that.
Why?
We're talking about a date.
We're talking about getting kidnapped on a hike. Are you crazy?
You can do that anyway.
Yeah, but like that, like
You don't think more people is getting
okay,
kidnapped in
okay.
cities?
Hold on, mind you. Say you meet someone on Tinder. Hey, I want to take you for a date. Let's go hiking. Like, come on.
I mean, unless they bio says they like very frequently hike and stuff.
We just watched a movie on Netflix where a woman gone, trying to mourn her son. She's about to kill herself or whatever. And nigga kidnapped her when she went back to her car because she went on a hike and met a stranger.
I also think the point we're forgetting here is like you can both agree on an activity.
Yeah.
It just may be like, oh, let's go hiking. It's like, well, I don't really like hiking, but want to do a walk in the park.
No, but like we were generally saying like
saying like go on a hike.
I was saying things you might do, but these things would be agreed upon.
my thing is if the options you bring it up,
Oh, I'd go on a hike. I wouldn't mind.
would that have been the date you were proposed?
To Cheyenne? No. Cheyenne, no. That's the thing. I feel like
ain't even Cheyenne nothing. He would have never proposed a hiking date to anybody because he's never been on a hiking date with anybody. If he would have proposed it, he would have done it before.
I've done a
Thank
beach
you.
picnic. Have I proposed a beach picnic to you?
Oh, you've done a beach picnic.
Where is the beach?
Murray have sand on it. See, all the only one listen.
But you know a lot about this lake. Yes.
That's I Cheyenne used to be on there a lot of.
But my thing is like, if you're a person who just likes like, oh, my ideal date is just a dinner, that's fine. But it's like people who like want to do stuff where it's like, oh, I live a lifestyle beyond just like work.
But we talking about us though, so like
I was being in general.
no, you always do this when we talking about
I thought it was a general.
no, because if it's general, we love the whole impressed relationship.
We didn't talk about do's and don'ts. We said what is your idea of a good first date?
And I said an activity.
Your idea.
Okay, so his idea is think of it. So what
Okay.
y'all answer?
Yeah, I mean, I agreed with you and Cheyenne, like something with food to make me feel a little bit more relaxed. Give me some food, I don't okay.
Y'all say this, y'all can get drunk and all.
True. I mean, but it all depends on if I want to take a drink, order a martini or whatever while talking to you.
crazy.
I might not.
Nigga crush up on sleeping pills, spread that on your fries, you're done for. Well, let me stop. Let me not give niggas ideas. But continue.
That's not ideas. People been doing it.
On solid food.
Say that's cheesy.
Come on.
No,
That's
I
the
didn't
cheese you eating the powder.
I didn't know people was that vicious. I thought that was a new thing.
Come on, we are people who is going eat food with your first.
Person that was putting poisonous stuff in the ketchup bottles at restaurants.
What is doing that?
You didn't have that, bro.
They was just doing it in random bottles at random restaurants. I was sitting on the table.
I think it was a girl who said she was doing that on TikTok, and I think they arrested her after she did that.
Like, what?
It's too much people on the rest, but
Do anything? Like, I don't understand what you're talking about.
that is crazy.
Okay, what is your ideal date to go on with your partner?
Are we still talking about us being, are we in a relationship at this point?
Yeah.
Oh,
At least like boyfriend, girlfriend.
Ideal date.
okay, boyfriend, girlfriend. I think my ideal, I don't want to say ideal because my ideal might be a little too extravagant. You know,
The ideal, that's what I want.
as a boyfriend, as a
Like
boy,
perfect world situation.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Man,
I'm not
you doing too much
realistic.
thinking.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm
I
saying.
say,
In a perfect world, my perfect date, probably, take a little trip, fly out type vibe, have everything, set up the dinner, got a little driver, check out the scenery, and then, come back to the room, have a little pool coming out of the room type.
Okay, we
Just a scene, straight out of
get it, we
movie,
get
guys.
okay,
you
the
know.
whole production.
That's if the world was perfect.
So, without it being perfect, we're done.
Let's go, please.
This is what I say. It's supposed to be ideal.
That's what I said.
Okay. I mean, you did cut me off while I was talking.
You was just you was thinking you
was
just
thinking
keep
out
trying to
loud.
brainstorm. Ain't nobody trying to brainstorm. We need results. So you should have been brainstorming while I was speaking. Let's go.
An ideal date for me would probably be something romantic. I don't want to limit it to dinner, but something romantic, and I think like probably end the night in like a helicopter looking over the whole like skyline views in a perfect world. Yeah. That's all I could think of, like Friday the Jump. I was like, that's what I thinking of. A helicopter is cool.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like ideal world, like where everything could just be like set in stone or whatever. It's like a full day of events. Like, you might wake up, you go get breakfast together or whatever, or get ready for like an activity that y'all have. Like you would do the skyline. I like the helicopter tours that they do like throughout the day, like looking at the like beaches and things like that. But like anything like activity wise to do, and you might go grab dinner, and it's like later on in the night, you go get some ice cream all of the treat, and you just park, and like you just watch planes take off.
Just a full day of events, basically. That's attainable though.
I should have gone first.
Why
That's
not
how-
better
that's
than
it.
1 hour?
No, mine's just not as fancy. My ideal date,
We said it,
Perfect.
ideal world.
I know,
world.
perfect world. You have a house where you could like see the ocean. I think of like one specific place in my right now is where like a family friend lives. You just sit on that porch. You have some McDonald's and a cheap bottle of wine, but you just talk.
Therese, you're joking.
That is the perfect date.
All right, then.
Because you just underneath the stars, you watching the ocean. You have your cheap wine. You get nice off that.
Mm-hmm.
You have McDonald's. I was just chill.
For an affordable date, like I wouldn't mind just getting like some fast food sitting in the car, and, like they say, watching planes take off. Like I have no issue with that, but we're talking about
Ideal.
I can't see how you get better than that.
affordable, like
I feel like you have like the helicopter ride. You have
Man, you get woman out there who fly you. What you mean you don't like get
fair,
better?
but that's my ideal.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. That is ideal. That's very
Simple
attainable.
guy.
Yeah, it's just a chill guy.
I feel like sometimes like people do all this stuff and it's like there's no personality behind it. Like, yeah, you send out a cheap bottle of wine, give me your little nuggets, your quarter pounder. You're talking shit about your day, you're talking about people, and you just relax. And
just trying to have like a nice road and have no personality. Yeah.
not that, because it's like people be like, oh, I want this, and this. Like, that's my ideal date. You're in the helicopter, you might be scared of heights. The helicopter too loud, and you come down, you complain about your headache. Then you're on the skyline, you get the food. This food ain't seasoned. It's like a lot could go wrong where it's just like, you keep it,
Go wrong with your McDonald's.
you keep it,
But it could be cold. You could have spilled the McDonald's all over.
You can bring it
keep it so simple.
and it don't be
And it's like the main points,
Simple or not simple, it don't matter.
the main point of like the date is just like you and the person, not like whatever activity you're doing. Like the highlight
Make your
shouldn't,
memory.
the highlight shouldn't be like the activity. Like the highlight should be like Because it's like, how many times have you and Kojic been out and it's just like, oh my God, Roman, you said this funny thing. Like, that would be like one of those nights you refer to, like, hello.
Good amount of time.
He's like, why can't
That's
like,
up.
oh my gosh, babe, you remember when we was in that helicopter? We just saw that beautiful.
It's literally a mixture of
We
both.
had such a great night.
Yeah, because you're making a memory with your person.
It's not just like you doing this activity just to say, oh yeah, I did this expensive.
I think that's what you think. No,
Well, no, because even with that, like, her reference was like the helicopter thing. Like, my reference would be like,
she said a whole day
I
on
did an activity.
well, yeah, the reference would be the
I
activity.
refer to her thing. She might have been a nighttime, but I would have liked to see stuff in.
And this was an addition to all this thing.
I know, and that's fine, but what I'm saying is, like, anytime, like, there's, like, a recollection of, like, oh my God, I only did this.
I'm sure she
It would be,
remember.
like,
She
about, like, a
remember.
conversation, like, just time.
Sharon typically brings up a lot of stuff. It's like all the time she brings up kind of memories. So I think, you know, it all depends on like you said, that's a perfect date
Me,
for you.
yeah.
You know, you'll remember that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we won't be able to talk about them skyline views.
That's fine, but that is my ideal date.
True. And you mentioned something. You said the date is about, you know, you being there with the person, not the activity, but like yeah, that's the whole point. We doing this. We were asked the ideal date. So like you can sit down. My thing is if we sitting down right now, we talking, that's a date. So like
Well, we just listen to McDonald's and that'll be perfect, but
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like we just doing something while we sitting down and talking. Because if we ain't doing nothing, it's still a date basically. Because we, in the other definition, because we sitting here talking.
how much better than that could it get? When you got noise, music, activity where you might get hurt. Because think about people who go like roller skating. It's just like sometimes you forget the person there. You just try to balance and not fall. So it's like when it's just you on that person sometimes, especially if it's like an ideal date, you've been with this person for a minute, you just chill and relax.
Okay, enough.
All right, so splitting the bill on the first date. How do y'all feel? Yay or nay?
I think if I'm taking somebody on a first date, I'll probably try to pay for it. You know, that's just me though. You know, other people have different, you know, perspectives on that and ideologies, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't been on much dates. I haven't been on dates at all, to be honest. So people who are on the dating scene, they probably going on like 10 dates a week. It's gonna be, you know, financially hard, you know, to be like, oh,
Yeah.
I gonna buy all these women food. Like,
Especially if it's like failed, because it's like you do this and then you don't hear from them.
yeah.
And vice versa. Well, I don't think women.
Apparently, a lot of girls be doing that, where it's like
Yeah.
they just get like
Free food,
like
yeah.
5 dates, and they get 5 dinners a
Yeah,
night.
most definitely. So for
That's
me,
crazy.
I think I'm not gonna expect a man to do it. So like I'm probably gonna, when it's time for the bill, I'm gonna pull out my card. If you say I got it, putting that back in the bag. If you don't say that, I'm gonna pay. So I don't think I'm gonna expect a guy to pay for it. So that's my main thing. I'm not expecting it. If you do, fine. But I don't mind splitting the bill on the first date.
I feel for me, like, I don't mind either. But if you ask me on a date, like, I expect you to pay. But I ain't gonna bring my money because with all these stories this weekend where it's like, oh, they just run out on you and all these things. I can make sure, you know, I can pay for my own
That's
food
so pathetic.
or whatever. Because I saw one where the guy and took the girl out. He was complaining about, like, how much donuts cost or whatever. And then he ended up taking her out to dinner or whatever, and because they were spending like the whole day together or something. I took her out to dinner, and she went to the bathroom. She was having a very bad time on the date because the day was just trash, like with how she explained it.
Oh, wow.
And by the time they got ready to leave, like she went home, and the next day she wake up, saw a picture of her and the guy walking out of the restaurant on Facebook, talking about they dined at Dash. She was like, "Wait a minute, like did you not pay for the food?" And he didn't pay. And she had to like call the restaurant and like everything and try to figure it out because he made me look bad.
I just feel like
Now we was stealing.
that is so crazy. And but my thing is, if the guy is asking you on a date, if I was a guy and I'm asking a girl on a date, if I ain't got that money like that,
Don't take her there.
I'm going to ask you specifically, would you like to go to a date to Applebee's?
Not even.
A Texas
Can
roll,
we
like-
go grab
That
some
was-
coffee?
that
I
was
would
on
buy
the
you
list.
one drink. and
Women
we
don't wanna
can
go to Applebee's.
Like,
Go to Starbucks,
Huh?
man.
you know,
I said that was on the list. Women don't want to go to Applebee's. Remember the list that dropped last? No.
who
Yeah, before
who
that.
said
Like a
that
whole
one
list
silly
of
girl
restaurants.
talking
You talking about a
she don't
TikTok?
want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
Couple-
That ain't got nothing to do with
A
that.
whole lot of people co-sign it, men and women.
Yeah, because
Okay.
that's my thing is you have to think about the type of woman that they are, how they portray
Know the
themselves,
type of
and the
people
women
that
they
you-
hang
that you
around.
trying to date.
Because like I wouldn't expect a Dubai bling lady or whatever to be like, oh yeah, I'll go to Applebee's. No, I'm expecting you to want to go to a Michelin, you know,
because y'all
so
got that money.
because
Y'all
you got that money.
car.
So it all depends. But I just feel as though as a guy, first of all, you supposed to be vetting carefully. So if you going on this girl page, you clicking that Instagram highlight, and you see she in all these different places, Benihana's, etc., etc., etc. You should know you asking her on a date, it's either you're going to ask her to go to a place like that and have the money or offer to take her to a different place and see if she's willing. If she isn't willing, she's going to decline.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think whoever like asked the person on the date should pay. But for guys specifically, like let's say a girl asks you out and she's like, oh, you know, like she's gonna voluntarily pay. At least offer to split it. Well, I guess it goes both ways. Like
Yeah.
whoever like invites a person should be the party like responsible for paying. But at the same
Agreed.
time, if you're being invited, also like offer to split the bill. Cause like for me, it's like a manners thing. It's like don't like come here
Don't expect.
eat like 48 oysters and then be like, okay,
You thinking of one situation.
had a check. Well, it's like people who like,
I just go and I just order the cheapest thing off the menu because I don't like spending other people's money.
and that's how you was raised. I agree, but it's like there's people who like used to going out to dinner with their dad, and it's like, oh, my daddy just let me get the most expensive thing off the menu, man or woman, and it's like, okay, you go to dinner, and that's just
I'm
your
your
automatic
daddy.
thing. So it's like they get
Yeah.
the most expensive thing or something pretty expensive compared to what you got, and it's just like, don't settle the person with that bill. Like at least like offer to go like halves the on the bill, or at least pay for your portion.
So, offer and wait for someone to decline your offer.
I mean, it don't always have to do with how you was raised because I wasn't raised to do that. That's just like a thought process that I developed. Like, you just have to be a good person.
I don't know. That's how I was raised, and then afterwards I realized like, oh, people don't have money to just waste on people, and I was like, oh, sorry.
And I feel so sorry for the guys that, you know, genuinely trying to look for connections and they pay for a date, take a girl out, the
Getting
girl
used
ghosts
for
them,
food.
and now they got to start the process over
All over
because
again.
at the end of the day, in order for them to get a girl, honestly, in this day and time, you got to take them out on a date. But I'm gonna say got majority. That's what I'm
Unless
assuming.
you meet them out.
In college or something.
Yeah, so I'm assuming now, like, I just feel bad for the guy that does that, gets ghosted after they pay, and it's like, okay, I gotta start again. Find another gal. I gotta offer her a date.
Find your match in college, but college is like the right place to find people. Everybody okay with being a little bit broke.
All LinkedIn
You know?
apparently. I didn't know people was
I
dating on
know.
LinkedIn. I heard that on the radio one afternoon.
Hey, I'm interested. I looked at
was
your profile. and-
confused.
I don't know about all of that.
But apparently it's because they have a feature where you can't lie. So it's like if you lie, be like, oh, like what do you do for do? Well, you know, I'm a food delivery concierge. You work at DoorDash? No. Food delivery concierge. I go on your LinkedIn, DoorDash driver.
Yeah.
Report.
But also,
Somebody
LinkedIn allows you to
lied
make
on-
your own. You can type in your specific title.
Yeah, somebody lied on LinkedIn before. He did a whole like.
He was
thing
like the
about
CEO of
it.
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
CEO, like.
But that's what the radio article said.
So they have to verify after the fact. Like
Mhm.
it have to be something that prompt them to like investigate you. But let's talk about a little bit about date stories. This is from the Bumble Reddit.
Okay, Bumble.
So one of the stories is I showed up to a date and the guy was sitting at the bar when I arrived. He stood up and was about 5'3", said he was 5'8" on profile. And he weighed about 100 pounds soaking wet. I'm 5'6" and 5'8" in heels, so I towered over him. His voice sounded exactly like Kermit the Frog, and every time he spoke,
She
people
just
would
going
look
in
up
on
and
this
Just
guy.
say it.
He proceeded to tell me that he suffers from a medical condition, which is why he was thin, and that he was married, but he and his wife had an open marriage. I ran out of there after 10 minutes.
I feel like that's something you tell people on Bumble. Like, don't let me meet you in person to find that out. That is crazy.
I'm married, so he trying to find a little.
Because I was feeling bad for him till I'm married. I was
Yeah, it's not like she
whoa,
throwing stress at
really?
this guy. He might
That
be a
is
really good
crazy.
guy. But I mean, he's married. He's in an open marriage, so it's like
Yeah.
he's
That's
not a bad
something him
guy.
and his wife agreed
they
upon.
agreed to.
Yeah, some of them do it that way where they could just do whatever. Some do it on the profiles together. But I feel like still that's something you're supposed to open.
Yeah,
put
let
on the
someone know
profile
ahead
that
of
you're
time.
Open marriage, so people gonna know. It's like, why am I coming here?
People on Bumble to find love.
True,
go ahead,
true,
playing
true.
around.
That's insane. So this story, this is about 10 years ago now. Went on a date with this girl. My friends
How
linked.
old is Reddit?
Pretty old.
Damn. I
I
wasn't
mean, the
expecting
person
that.
posted it 6 months ago. What's wrong with you?
Oh, I thought
They
you were
were
saying
saying
this,
the date
like the
was
polls
from
for some
10
10
years
years
The
ago.
Reddit has been
Oh.
around for a
A long
while.
time.
Oh.
So went on a date with this girl my friends linked me up with as we were both single for an introductory date. It wasn't bad, but not exactly sparks flying sort of thing. For the most part, it was a coffee date and a bit of shopping. On our way out of the shopping mall, there was this huge ice rink that she just had to try. I need to preface the fact that I'm a 6'4" being pulled with the worst balancing even at the best times. However, she seemed enthused and I thought it would be a good way to break down barriers and have a laugh. Not even 5 minutes in the rink, I slipped and sprained my wrist and ankle. I needed to be carried out by other skaters. I was left on the bench alone with a bag of ice for my injuries while my date went back in the rink by herself. No sense in wasting the money spent, I guess.
That is crazy.
As I watch her skate, I see she's being talkative and flirty with this other skater and doesn't even look my way once. Even as her time on the rink was up, she walked off with the other guy without even looking back, leaving me having to limp home by myself.
Oh, Tom, did he pay for it?
Poor guy.
That is
I would
crazy.
assume so.
That is
Poor
crazy.
guy. Like, oh my
That's
gosh.
clearly something that's hurting him for him to write a Reddit
Even if
story
she-
on
I'm
it
saying.
10 years after.
Even if she could have just sit there until it's time he ready to go and just, they could have been talking.
I mean, for all you know, that might have been the love of her life, and her and that guy married now.
That is crazy.
They
I
met in
don't,
the
Off my
skating
dime.
ring.
I don't feel like people could be finding love
Off
at
my
some.
dime.
Yeah, other people expense like that. That's crazy.
I mean,
Trust,
you,
it
you
happens.
can't say how love finds you, man. You
That
just
is
gotta
a
find
It
it.
is crazy.
Live in
And
the moment.
let me just do one more. I once had a guy fake an emergency to leave the date. It was extremely obvious. And when later that night I asked what had gone wrong, he said that hanging out with you made me realize I like another girl better.
Why he didn't just lie?
No,
Wow.
that's a case where
Why?
you
Yeah,
could have
why
lied.
didn't he just
first.
lie?
Brutally honest, you know.
Jesus
Hanging
Christ.
over-
So,
with
I mean, he
you.
lied to leave the date, faking an emergency.
Keep it up.
At that point, just
Keep
lying.
it up. Like, keep the lie up.
Because
That is crazy.
I mean, he didn't need to lead her on or anything, so he
don't
ended
need
it
to
there
lead on,
straight
but
up.
he was just like,
You could still be
I just
like-
realized I didn't like you that much.
You could just be like,
That could have been it.
That could have been it. I liked
Talking
another
to you
girl.
made me realize I just like this other girl.
because you
more
hurt
than
you hurt her feelings for no reason.
Literally, she didn't even have to know you was talking to another girl.
Real.
Like, you could have just said, I didn't really like talking to you. Something of that sort, but telling me that I made you realize that you like someone more?
Right, and she said it was especially devastating at the time because I had a crush on this guy for years.
Damn. I
That's
swear.
crazy.
For like people now
Heart goes
who
out to
are
you.
supposed to be more like emotionally intelligent, I feel like people now are more like ruthless. They care very little for others, and it's like they just do what they want, and it's just like, have therapy turn y'all into monsters. Like, what
I don't
happened?
think people go to therapy.
Some of them do. Some of them use therapy to be like, well, I'm on a labelist, so I just enable people to do whatever they want. And it's like, no, like, you have no backbone. Stand up for yourself. It's like some of the stuff where it's like, well, I'm a narcissist. It's like, no, fix that.
No,
That's some of the
no,
stuff I
like,
miss from,
don't-
like-
I don't know if them people go to therapy.
That's some of the stuff I miss from back in the day where it's just like, certain things I feel like that slide now because of like, I don't want to say moods, but like emotional reasons. It's like, people allow them to fly because, and it's just like,
People don't
yeah, you
allow
have
them
this,
to
but you're a
fly.
terrible person.
Some things are uncontrollable, like even like with medication could help, but it really don't help enough. And some people are just bad people. I don't know. I don't even know if they have like treatment for people like narcissists. I think they're just bad
Well,
people.
narcissist was just an example, but it's like, I feel like now more than ever, like people are like way more like selfish and just like they don't care who they hurt. And I'm like, for a generation
for
that's
sure
supposed
they
to be
don't.
like
They
more emotionally intelligent,
They're
I feel
not.
like they're the worst.
Well, in contrast, some people
They're
think
not,
being
but
them, now that they are emotionally intelligent, they take that
They
concept
care
and
less
they-
about how other people see them. A lot of people
so
was
it's
just
like,
doing it.
hey, it's better I be blunt and honest to you. So like, I feel like in contrast, they look at it like that. Like, I'm emotionally intelligent now. There's no reason for me to sugarcoat anything. Let me tell you how it is, whether it hurts your feelings or not.
Yeah, but I
Because it's
feel
gonna
like
be
if
better
you-
for you
I
regardless.
feel like if you're an emotionally intelligent people, like, oh, that's all a reason to not do it. Where it's like, well, I understand how this would make me feel. I probably shouldn't do it to someone else. Like,
Yeah,
and
that's like
I don't feel like that's a sentiment that people
yeah,
have
that's like
nowadays.
us Caribbean people. Like I always say, they didn't get bullied enough. Like we get bullied so much at home. It's like okay, we see what it do to us at home. We ain't trying to
That's,
do this to
yeah,
nobody else.
I feel like people
Oh, it's
need
like
that.
we know only we can handle stuff like that. Other people is be like they get so baby they can't even like they skin ain't thick at all. Like
Exactly.
anything people say they just crying up a storm. Like you hurt my feelings.
Because now people just do like anything.
You're
Like,
your friend.
imagine back in the day, you do something that was like out of taste, you get one slap to the back of your head. Now people do that. Oh my god, they're just so unique. No, like, fuck you one bite, but like they don't do that no more.
unique.
And it's sad to see because I feel like people as a whole have gotten worse. But I digress.
Yeah, everything is just, that's just who I am. And, life is just so hard. And, you just gotta let me be me. Like, that's just hurtful. Like, you can't do that to people. No, tell them that they're bad people.
Really.
Tell them that they're bad. Don't care how they feel. They're bad people. Tell them.
I don't know. Even with that, you'd still be like, hey, like, I understand you feel this way, but you still put it to
You're a
them
bad
in a way
person.
that's like,
No, you're a bad
See, that's what I was saying. Like in contrast, people being emotionally intelligent, what Cheyenne saying is like that aspect I was describing.
Mhm.
Them being emotionally intelligent, they're not sugarcoating.
They tired of that baby.
They
and-
tired. They're not.
Anybody
They
had
telling
a
you how it
baby-
is.
They had too much baby in, and they like.
Yeah,
Who's
so
a bad person?
I see where you're coming.
And I
I
feel
think
like
it's
that's
two
what
sides to
caused
the
them to
coin.
be a bad
Yeah,
person.
so we're not babying you anymore. You're a bad person. Ain't no nice way. You're a bad person. Like, what do you not understand? Ain't no nice way to say that.
Well, I
terrible.
feel like there
Tell,
is
give me
because
a
it's
nice.
like
Give me a nice way to say I'm a bad
so
person.
well, it kind of goes into examples. It's like somebody's like they just say what they want, and like their parent is like, well, Suzanne, she just says how she feels, and it's like they go about their
They
way.
ain't never done it.
Yeah, just being rude, and it's like you meet them, and it's like, hey, you're a terrible person. Some people can also see that as being rude, so it's like you're being rude to someone rude. Whereas like if like, hey, like maybe you shouldn't be so brutally honest, like that can seriously hurt people. Like that might cause them to question more. It's just like, hey, you're a bitch.
But I mean, but if you think
I
about
don't
it, if
think
you
they
tell me,
question.
if you come to me and say, hey, you kind of being like a little bit brutally honest, da, 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 I'm not gonna think I'm a bad person compared to you coming to me and be like, you are a B. You're a bad person. Like I get in two different messages because here I thinking, okay, I must just start this. People just start feeling this way.
Yeah,
This why you telling me
no,
this now?
You saying that to them after people have been letting them run free all their life. They thinking, oh, you was the problem because nobody else ever said this to me.
I think it would be the opposite. Like if you yell at them like that, I think that's the reaction they would give you.
I mean, either way, the whole point is
Either,
she's
even if
laying
you
her mind and
nice,
she's saying
even
it.
if you rude, that's what they're gonna think because nobody else has
Has
ever
told
told
them
them
that
that
before,
but
yeah.
you. So they're gonna think
You're
that
the problem.
even if you was nice about it. They don't care.
Yeah, fair. But that's the world we live in.
That's why you just gotta leave these people alone. They mean to you. Just leave.
Oh my god.
Don't sit there and take that. Just leave.
I probably should say that too loud. But continue.
That's all the stories I got for you.
Yeah, guys, appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe. Be in the comments. I would like to know what y'all feel about dating. The whole topic. Just let us know.
Tell us some
Yeah.
of y'all do's and don'ts and what was the worst date y'all ever been on,
Cool. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Yeah, man.